But yeah, I mean, it is a different stage. You're playing in a vastly different ballpark, different atmosphere, different stakes, obviously. And this is just a struggle of a first inning. Trying to add on to a 3-run first for Brazil. Evens the count, 1-1. Very veteran-laden coaching staff. 2 balls and a strike now.
Yeah, getting thrust into this position. I think you sit that one out for sure.
Leave that to the roster.
Right, exactly.
To this point here in Panama, and that certainly doesn't help. It's a nice pitch there to make it 3-2. Pitch on the way to Luciano, and that plunks him. Luciano is okay, and that's going to spell the end of the day for Ben Thompson. So certainly not the start that Thompson wanted or that Scott Campbell wanted for this day number 1 of our second qualifier in Panama. But unfortunately for New Zealand, those the cards this team is dealt so far here in the bottom of the first. And with just 2/3 of an inning recorded, Thompson will depart for the third base dugout.
And it's important too, you talk about that momentum. You don't want to give New Zealand any kind of inkling of getting back in this game.
Fly ball in the air to right. Luciano's got it, no trouble. 2 gone. That'll bring up the DH Andrew Mark. But this New Zealand national program, well, and the reason that was the perfect time to tell you about the pitch limits is that was Jimmy Boyce's 30th of the day, so he has now crossed over that threshold.
And right on cue as well, Luciano showing bunt.
Boyce set. Another square and a bunt down foul. We saw this so much last round, and you and I have gotten a chance to watch a lot of international baseball over the last few years. And if you disagree, you're wrong. So
exactly,
it's fine. But this is really the style that we'll see. As the right-handed hitting Luciano waits, and a grounder out towards second. We'll see if they'll get to the flip to the back for 1, and the return throw is in time as Puaka Grego started it at second, got it to Matthews, who hustles that throw to first for a spectacular 4-6-3 double play to erase a pair.
Man, this was not routine either. That ball started rolling slow. There's a thicker grass in that infield. You mentioned Puaka Grego starting it off, nice little flip and a big turn right there from the shortstop, Matthews. That's a big double play here in the 3rd inning.
So it goes from first and second, no. Fernando Luciano was on via a hit by pitch, the first of 5 so far in this game. High leg kick from the stretch, and he gets this bouncer foul. 1-1 pitch is down and away. 2 balls and a strike on Luciano. Luciano on the ground, out too short. Matthews takes it to the bag himself. 6-3 double play, inning over. So a great job by Charlie Adamson to erase the 1-out infield single, and he faces the minimum in the 5th. We are headed to the top of the 6th inning in a good one in Panama City. Our score, Brazil 6 and New Zealand 3. Brazil breaking free here in the 7th. Now 9 runs on 9 hits in this game. 0 for 2 today. He has bounced into a pair of double plays. He was also hit by a pitch back in the 1st inning. Was in a tight one up until this inning. It was 4-3 after the top of the 2nd inning. Brazil scored twice in the bottom of the 4th.
Jimmy Boyce and Adamson, good job holding it down.
Over to 3rd and off the glove of Krause, out into foul territory down the left field line. That will enable Kikuchi to steamroll his way into 3rd, and Luciano into 2nd. Now 2 in scoring position with 1 gone. That thing just kind of ate up Chayton Krause, who went down to try to backhand it on the slide.
Yeah, getting to roll over pitch. Seen a couple ground balls already from McLean Roberts, but defensively not helping himself out. And you see, you mentioned it, the 3rd baseman right there, Krause, getting eaten up. Nearly getting mercy ruled in the 5th inning.
21-7 the final in that game.
Insane. And then all of a sudden you're looking at the same guys, the same jerseys, you have that familiarity. It can haunt you a little bit, but not the case. Czech Republic, man, that last game. You can see too, Spain, they were exhausted. They had that game against Great Britain, went extra innings.
3-1 win over Spain to clinch the WBC berth, as Fernando Luciano trying to give us a souvenir up on this 1-2. This one talking on Twitter with A member of the Pakistan baseball delegation, as a bouncer out to second, will turn into out number one. Luciano retired. Where baseball can go from here to keep growing in those countries. We may have to talk about this in the bottom of the fourth. We got a foul pop on the third base side. Man, that's a great effort by Melvin Novoa. The Maine Classic puts together teams and rosters that money cannot buy. You cannot have the types of groups that you'll see.
Well, when you look at the lineups you can face, I mean, when I look at the 2006 Dominican team, we had 3 Hall of Famers and the opportunity to share a uniform with them, and it was a great experience.
Bouncing ball out towards short, 3 up, 3 down. You want to stick around another half inning with us?
Well, I'm here.
Absolutely. Miguel Bautista joining us for the bottom of the fourth when we return.
You have to get the guy out or he gets awarded that base. So I think what you're going to see, you'll see the 2 picks over. Exactly, and I think with some of these rules that we see throughout Major League Baseball, if it's something that you just want to speed the game up and limit players.
You know, pretty much ever since 2009, the pitch clock is, and of course seeing it at the international level as well.
So you can totally tell the difference. You have a young pitcher coming up, man, you can really tell that they have been using that pitch clock, and they do have that good rhythm. But again, if you have a good tempo, it shouldn't even be an issue.
2-2 grounded out towards short. Rounding that baseball is Brandon Litton, who gets the out at first and is able to hold the runner. 6-3 put out. Molinari stays at second. 0-1 on it. Nippon Professional Baseball Teams, NPB, in any direct sense. 0-2. Shuttles over here, and there were shuttles arriving at 2 in the afternoon today for this game. 1-2 pitch. Called, nope.
Wow. That changeup as well.
2-2. That one's there for a called strike 3. And the third strikeout of the evening for Ariel Jurado is his second to close an inning. Freezes Luciano, even a little bit of a mix-up.
I need to be dialed in. I don't need to hear some random Aussie accent in my ear, let me tell you.
You need Kenji Jojima working with an Aussie accent to get to your
just
all the communication?
Yeah, no, just give me the robot, Siri, whatever. I don't want to hear some, hey, fastball, mate. No chance.
Speaking of Aussie accent, by your dad. Now I know where you get it from.
That's what he was calling about.
There's a drive in the air to right field. Luciano moving back. Warning track leaping, and he makes the grab. What a catch by Fernando Luciano on the warning track to rob Rodrigo Orozco, and 3 up, 3 down goes Panama here in the bottom of the second. We're headed to the third, all scoreless at Estadio Rod Carew. How did you first come about being in front of scouts and getting that first offer?
I mean, we were playing on the tournaments here in Panama, coaching before you get to play in the tournaments, and then that's why the scouts get to see you playing here. And you know, something that was funny, that I got the opportunity to play with Canseco.
Yeah.
But I guess to get more games in, I think that's going to make the difference.
Well, and anybody who's at this game tonight, if you haven't played baseball yet and you're a little kid, this is going to hook you. Carlos Lee El Caballo, thank you so much for stopping by. Panama's good luck charm as we head to the bottom of the fifth. So leadoff man gone. That brings up Fernando Luciano. The first pitch to him was a strike. 1-1. Looking back on the history of the WBC, you think, at some point, surely Nicaragua has been there. But and despite winning 2 games in the qualifiers in 2017, they didn't make the main tournament then either, as the 1-2 was inside.
The World Baseball Classic in March.
2-2. All completed here in Panama City. 2-2 call, strike 3 on the breaking ball.
Man, I'll tell you right now, first of all, we talked about the slider on the outer half of the plate. And then he comes back in with that changeup right there, 84 miles per hour, going the other direction.
But man, they came together quick when it got to qualifier time.
Yeah, and there's 2 rosters that were built completely differently.
Yes.
You know, Czech Republic, homegrown guys, they all know each other. They came up through the same academy.
Bouncing ball foul off the bat of Fernando Luciano. Trying to reach the WBC for the second time, and the 0-1 fouled away. It's 0-2. We were talking
going back to that 2013 World Baseball Classic. Saying that?
1-2 in the air on the infield. Brandon Leighton squeezes it for the final out. But Brazil is onto the board, and leadoff man on the first pitch, and the tying run comes to the plate. And first pitch swinging again. Pop up back behind the plate.
Some of that tough Panamanian pitching.
One a strike, it's 0-2. And a ground ball over to third. Backpedaling Alegria to second for one on the first. Not going to be in time. But the leadoff out recorded. Molinari gone.
Just a good play. The big priority here is just get that lead out. Get that guy out of scoring position. Hit Luciano at first base. And it continues. Some of the things we talked about last inning, the errors you make or the plays you're trying to make behind your pitcher. This game is being determined on things you are not doing, and that's making plays. Now all of a sudden Brazil's got to...
Fernando Luciano, strike one. They are 1 out away from doing so here in Panama. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Flared out into right. Backpedaling Bermudez, and Nicaragua for the first time is headed to the World Baseball Classic.